If you believe Samantha Bee is pure propaganda and Amy Schumer were dull, you have not yet seen Enissa Amani. She fled Iran as a child with her parents, who were persecuted for being poor communistki, and that is her entire shtick. Not her entire shtick, she also has large boobs. Mrs. Amani is also stereotypical of how the left develops recently, and that is they try to make use of Islam whenever it is helpful against basically everybody else. And for her, being from a Muslim tradition, she can weaponize Islam whenever she wants, even though I do not believe she even believes in the Quran and in the religion as such. She is not a thought leader at all, but I believe she is the perfect puppet for this new development, and there are smarter people than her who try to instrumentalize Islam for their purposes, and she is somehow in between. She's that person dyed in that wool. The Bavarian parliamentarian Andreas Winhart has sued her for an insult. She had made a video calling him a moron and a bastard. I'm against hate speech laws and also against other laws that encroach our right to free speech. However, there is something that I want to call the principle paradox. You can only uphold a principle if you make those who want to encroach and destroy it taste their own medicine. And Ms. Amani has called for Mr. Winhart to be locked away for giving a speech. I do not want her to be locked away, and if you apply the principle that you can only uphold any principle by making somebody taste this medicine, you always have to make sure that it targets the right person. And Ms. Amani has not just issued this video, she had also written a text on Instagram calling for his imprisonment. You have to make sure that the person is really explicitly responsible for breaking the principle, and secondly, you have to find a smaller doses of it. It is just to educate those who do not respect our Western system. What is also very annoying about her video is that she is responding to a speech of Mr. Winhart and misrepresents what he is saying. He is making some jokes. For example, he is referring to our health minister, Mr. Spahn, suggesting that we should let people from Albany care for our elderly. And he says, well, maybe you should let all these Albanese into your home and see if your furniture is there when you come back. That kind of speech he was given, or maybe it is not a joke but a stylistic device, but you get the idea. It is he does not say every single Albanese. He does not say every single, not all, and so on and so on. She's just inserting this all, and for me, this is breaking a very basic commandment, namely, do not give false testament against thy neighbor. Okay, she's a Muslim, or no, she's not even a Muslim. I give her a pass. Yet I'm annoyed by this. Then she is weeping about people daring to speak on days like the Christchurch massacre. She invents a hypothetical scenario in her mind, a hypothetical scenario in which a Christian church had been shot up by a Muslim, and Muslims still dared to speak of being attacked by Christians. Yes, imagine. I don't have to imagine this because it's happening every day. Every day. There is not one day when there are no killings. I mean, look into the statistics, break it down to on a daily level how much it is per day. When people kill others for not being Muslim enough or for not being Muslim, you have that every single day, and you have a Christchurch day every day. And if it's not honor killings that make that that make your day the day, then it is some militia killing Christians, Jews, and so on in Iraq, in Afghanistan, Nigeria, and so on and so on. Or you can go into several other crimes, gang violence, where Muslims just simply stick together and fight the other group simply for not being Muslim. I mean, then of course other motivations come into it, but I mean, violence has often a mix of reasons. But essentially, Muslims killing others for not being Muslim or not being Muslim enough or being dehumanized anyway in Muslim culture is a very common thing. And has Enissa Amani stopped speaking about non-Muslims and how evil non-Muslims are on that day? No. And I'm really annoyed by this double standard all the time. And she does not realize it. She even claims that statistically it were not proven that Muslims maim, kill, and rape non-Muslims more often than the other way around. Girl, I still have no hard feelings against Ms. Amani. I hope she learns her lesson. She is very upset about the lawsuit. Still, she claims that she would do it again, would still call him a moron idiot and a whore son. That is a slur that basically only Muslims use. So she is far from redemption, but I don't like to give up people, and I have mentioned Roseanne Barr and Alex Schwarzer, who both used to be far on the left and have become more reasonable recently. Although Roseanne Barr has gone farther than Alex Schwarzer, for example. I also have some hope for Anna Kaspari, interesting enough, of the Young Turks and of this former Russian Today girl, forgot her name. She's a complete socialist. But there are some people who are just so out there, and yet you understand that they are not lying strategically or something. They are just deceived themselves. Or they are somehow impregnated with an ideology, but they are not evil people. They are not evil souls. And at some point later in their lives, they usually red pill a little bit, and then it becomes worse and worse and worse until they suddenly realize that they have been fools. And I want to end this video with a German proverb that is quite fitting, I believe. It is the largest or the greatest critic of the moose was one himself in his youth. In German, die größten Kritiker der Elche waren früher selber welche. Bye.